Hello my dear students, welcome to the class of 10th English medium. The subject is Social Science, chapter 18, Price Rise and Consumer Awareness, brought to you by Vitan Sir. Now I have divided this chapter into three different parts, and this is the second part of the series of the three tutorials. Now this part basically consists of the consumer awareness. In India, we call it Jago Grahak Jago. That means wake up consumers, wake up. And there is a website for that. If you want to check it out, you can go to jagograhakjago.com to understand how India operates about its consumer awareness. So what we are going to study here is what is consumer awareness, why consumers must be aware, and how it is done. Now, every person is a consumer in one way or other. Many items with identical features and brands are available in the market. Illiterate or unaware consumers don't know the uses of these products and are often misled or exploited by a middleman or shopkeeper. That means because every person is a consumer and because there are so many products available in the markets, we are often, because I am also a consumer, we are often exploited by middlemen. It's not just a problem of illiteracy or unawareness. Even those educated are cheated by the middlemen through deceptive advertisements. The system where goods or services bought by consumers against money are of good quality and appropriate weights is called consumer protection. That means the system where whatever we are purchasing or whatever we are filling are of good quality and appropriate weights, and that system is known as the consumer awareness. Ralph Nada, there are two pictures of that guy here, started a movement in America to bring consumer awareness regarding the protection of consumer rights, and therefore he is known as the pioneer of consumer movement. Here the word pioneer means the beginner, the person who put the first brick in the movement of consumers. Deceptive statements like consumer is the king has been seen a lot in present times to exploit the consumers. Traders and producers produce goods according to their liking, but they advertise it as if they are creating it for the purpose of consumers. So the consumers are attracted and they are exploited. So consumers often choose wrong goods due to such advertisements or such deceptive attractions. So producers earn income using the cheatings towards the consumer. Now, forms of consumer exploitation. That means how consumers are exploited or how consumers are cheated. Now, this here will give you a list of how consumers are cheated continuously by the traders. Traders sell commodities of less weight than actually printed on the packet. This may happen due to the sleight of hand or cheating in the weighing machines, or there are many methods of doing this. Providing slightly defective or fake goods or commodities. Overpricing. Here the seller says the price is $479,000, but actual market price is $388,000, which we did not know, and so we paid the seller $479,000. That means we have been cheated using the overpricing policy. Providing adulterated, that means mixed goods, harmful or dangerous to health. Here you can see the four goods which are adulterated the most. The first one is the turmeric or known as haldi, which are usually just a powder or the dust from the wood colored and mixed with some essence. The second is ghee, which are sold as pure cow ghee, which are not the truth. Third is the milk, often mixed with water and other things, and sometimes not actually a milk in itself, just the taste is of milk. The fourth one is honey. Sometimes honey is not there, just a sugar syrup is sold as if it's honey. So this adulterated and mixed goods which are harmful or dangerous to health are a form of consumer exploitation. Lack or unsatisfactory after sales services. You can see here that people are running behind a particular mobile phone. So when you buy certain mobile phones which do not provide after sales services, or they are not satisfactory to you, you are bound by them like the chains of battle. So that is another form of consumer exploitation. Humiliation of consumers or cheating. When shopkeepers humiliate the consumers for their own mistakes, not the mistakes of consumers. Sometimes consumer take those damaged products back to the shopkeepers, but they humiliate, they insult the consumers. That is also a form of consumer exploitation. Not providing banking, insurance, electricity, etc. services as per the agreement. Sometimes the consumers have made agreement with the traders about certain services which are not provided to them. So that is another form of consumer exploitation. You can see here that traders always give us very attractive advertisements, but this is the difference. The left one is the advertised and the right one is the actual product delivered, and this might may not be the actual scene, but this is what happens with us. They advertise the best thing with the brighter colors and the pictures and the videos, but when we go there we get something like on the right hand side of the picture. So that's deceptive advertisement to cheat consumers. Creating artificial scarcity. On the in the picture you can see that the world has been divided into two parts with a wall like China. On the right side the people are living with luxury, and then on the left side the people are living in the poverty. So this is something artificially created scarcity, that people on the right side are creating such scarcity that people on the left have to live in poverty, and the information of the goods or the goods and services itself are withheld from the poor people because the rich just want to enjoy themselves. Now, reasons of consumer exploitation. We just saw how the consumers are exploited. Now, let's see why consumers are exploited. Okay, this is how people exploit us, but why are we exploited? Why are we being the one who are exploited using these forms? That even if we know how we are exploited, we still continue being cheated and being taken advantage of. So, let's see the reasons of the consumer exploitation. The first one, we ourselves are responsible for why we are cheated. Our ignorance, our lack of awareness, our illiteracy, our lack of organizational capacity, that we are not uh, coming together to fight against these cheatings. The lack of preparation and lack of giving fight against injustice on part of consumers is the reason for the exploitation, the reason why we are exploited or cheated. So we are the first reason why we are exploited. The second reason is the limited amount of information which we have. We have a very few knowledge about the products and goods and commodities and services sold in the market, about the quality, their usefulness, the condition, the after sales services of the variety of goods produced. So we are easily influenced into getting the useless goods, the goods which we don't actually need. We are attracted towards it due to the advertisements and the tactics of the traders, and we ignore the actual goods which we need, and therefore we are cheated and exploited. Limited supply. That means the products sold in the market are so few. You can see in the picture that the quality of this goods is not good at all, and still they are sold. That means the supply is so less that even these kind of goods could be sold to the consumers. When supply of goods or services are less than the actual demand, an artificial scarcity is created where producers and traders can exploit consumers plenty through overpricing and other tactics. So when the supply of goods is less, automatically we don't have a choice into purchasing goods, because whatever we have in front of us, that's the only thing. So if we don't want to go empty, we have to buy them at whatever conditions, at whatever prices. Limited competition. Now the competition between the traders is less. That means there are few people trading or selling of goods, and that means that consumers have limited choice of purchasing. This means whatever conditions are laid by the sellers, the buyer has to follow through with it. And that means usually sellers overprice the goods, sell at lower qualities, or sell high priced goods to select few consumers who are willing to pay a lot more, and that way they earn a huge profits, and that way the consumers are cheated and exploited. Consumer awareness and consumer protection. Now we have seen the forms of consumer exploitation and why consumers are exploited. Now let's see what actions have been taken at the world level and the India level regarding the awareness and the protection of the consumers. After understanding the forms and reasons for consumer exploitation, we can understand why we need consumer protection, and for that purpose, consumer awareness. In India, the description regarding consumer protection against misbehaviors towards consumers was done for the first time in Kautilya's Arthashastra. Afterwards, American President John F. Kennedy presented four rights of consumers on March 15, 1962 in the Parliament of America. Consumer International published notifications showing rights of consumers on 15th March 1983. Therefore, the 15th March is celebrated as World Consumer Day every year. United Nations declared 8 basic consumer rights in its bill United Nations Guideline for Consumer Protection on 16th of April 1985, and it also recommended the whole world, that means all the nations of the world, to set up rights and duties of the consumer. With respect to United Nations declaration, India set up National Consumer Protection Act 1986, which was signed and permitted by the President on 24th of December in the 1986. And under this, we presented 6 rights of the consumer. And that 24th December every year is celebrated as the National Consumers' Rights Day. Gujarat government implemented with respect to our national law Gujarat Consumer Protection Act 1988 on 18th February 1988. As per this act, many legal action for consumer protection has been taken till date. In 1993 and in 2002, many important amendments or the changes have been made in India for the sake of consumer protection. Many provisions have been made under the Consumer Protection Legislation of 1986. We will discuss these provisions in detail as follows. There are basically 3 provisions which we are going to discuss now. Legislation for consumer rights. First one, related to consumer services. Now, a consumer is a person who has made payment or has promised to make payment or has agreed to any offered mode of payment in lieu of purchase of any commodity or service. Now, this is a definition of a consumer. So, a person who has made a payment or promised to make a payment or agreed or offered any mode of payment against the purchase of any commodity or service, then that guy is called a consumer. A second definition, a consumer is a person who pays the value of the product, whether in the form of installment or by hire purchase system, or hires a service, either receives a service. So either hires a service or gets a service in installments or with a hire purchase system, or buys a goods in that form. So that's a consumer. But a person is not a consumer if he sells a purchased product for business or a commercial purpose, or provides free of cost services or goods or services under personal service agreement. these people are not covered under this particular act. So a person is doing a business or purchases for the sake of selling again, or he sales for free of cost, or purchases as a free of cost, or receives something as a gift, or makes a personal service agreement, then that guy is not called a consumer. The second topic of the legislation is the rights of the consumers. Many laws have been framed so that producers and traders maintain a uniformity and transparency in their price, quantity, quality of products, etc. Consumers also become aware and remain safe due to the rights given to the consumers. There are 6 rights. We know that at an international level there are 8 rights, but at India level, national level, we have accepted 6 rights of the consumers. Let's see which are those. Number 1, right to safety. Consumer has right to protection against harmful and dangerous commodities such as adulterated commodities and fake commodities and all those. He has right against protection of physical environment and quality of life. That means no products should damage a consumer's physics and mental health, and it should not damage the environment in which he is living. Right to get information. Consumer can get product information regarding quantity, quality, manufacturing and expiry, contents from label, price tags, etc. Consumer can behave responsible and is not exploited if he gets the proper information about each and every product he is buying. Right to choose. That means this is a right to choice of goods. Consumer has right to select from variety of goods at competitive prices. He can select goods with reasonable prices, satisfactory services, and assurance of good quality. So we can choose any product we want. No one can force us to choose a particular product. Right to be heard or right to represent. Laws are made so that consumer can be heard for their problems and protection. Non-political and unbiased consumer societies are created to represent the interest of the consumers. So that's the right of the consumers to be heard or to be represented using a consumer society. Right to seek redressal. Now here redressal means that consumer has right to complain against dishonest or unethical malpractices undertaken by producers or traders. Consumers can ask for compensation against physical and mental losses. Exchange, repairs, returns of goods or money, etc. can be done. So consumer, when cheated or exploited, can ask for redressal against the courts, and he can get the exchange of goods or repairs or return of goods or return of money. He can ask for that from the court against the trader. Right to consumer education. Now this is one of the most important rights. Consumer must get complete information and develop skills to achieve awareness. Awareness at village level through schools, seminars, meetings, speeches, exhibitions reduce the exploitation of consumers. So if consumers need to reduce their exploitation, they have the right to consumer education through schools and seminars and meetings and speeches and exhibitions, and there are many other ways for that purpose. So these are the 6 rights given to consumers for their own safety. But we need to entertain, we need to implement, we need to exercise these rights. Now the third point, duties of consumers. We should never forget that along with rights comes duties. At the time of purchasing, consumer should make the correct choice. If a consumer makes a wrong choice, it is not the problem of a trader, it's a problem of a consumer. Consumer should check proper quality, quantity, the prices, the guarantee warranty given, etc. things before making a purchase. While choosing from many products, consumer must gather all the available information regarding the product and then purchase the correct product according to his requirement or needs. Behavior of consumer towards the seller must be gentle and calm. You can't just barge into a shop and start quarreling with the seller. It is your duty to behave yourselves in front of the seller and present yourself calmly and gently. Consumer must insist on having the original bill or receipt of items purchased, along with the proper warranty card, along with signature and stamp of the seller, because this ensures that if any problem arises in the future, you can go back to the trader or the seller and prove that you have purchased those particular damaged products from them only. Consumers should form voluntary organizations for the purpose of their own safety. With this, they can give legal fights against sellers or traders undertaking unethical malpractices. Consumers should make a verbal or written complaint against traders without fail in the respective government department. That means, in the case of cheating or exploitation, consumers should immediately go to respective government department or the respective government forum or the consumer forum and lodge a verbal or written complaint against the traders. If all the consumers do this, all the traders will become straightforward and they will stop cheating and exploiting the consumers. Before buying goods, the quality, rate, date, tax, packing, standards, batch number, weight, manufacturer, everything should be verified to abstain from the exploitation. If a product seems expired, fake, or adulterated, consumer must bring this to the trader's notice. That means if I find a certain product bad, I should immediately go to the trader and tell them that okay, this product is bad. But if traders don't give proper response, appropriate authority must be notified of this particular event immediately. Consumers should purchase products in quantity and quality of which he or she requires and should not buy unwanted, unnecessary products in the spur of a moment due to advertisements or discounts. We should only buy what we need, not based on how much discount or what schemes are available on those products. Weighing scales, measuring equipment must be verified for their accuracy before its use. This equipment must contain accuracy certificates issued by appropriate government authorities or government authorized departments. Unbroken seal of gas cylinder, zero at the time of filling petrol, measuring kerosene after foam dissipates, weighing scale with zero, etc. are the small things which we can keep in mind to avoid getting cheated at each and every step in our lives. A consumer can go to consumer forum himself or through a consumer society. The incidents of malpractice must be reported and published in newspapers, TV, radios, so that other consumers can be aware about that cheating and unethical trader and stay away from them. This way, those traders and sellers will realize that they can't just cheat everyone and they will stop the exploitation so that consumers can remain safe. Consumers should participate in any various consumer forums, societies, meetings, and consumer awareness programs. So be aware and spread awareness to others for their protection too. So these were the list of duties of consumers which each and every consumer must exercise. So what we have studied in this chapter is that how consumers are exploited, what are the reasons for consumers exploitation, the rights of the consumers and the duties of the consumer. That was the second part of the chapter. Next time in the third part of the chapter, we will discuss about the measures undertaken by government for the protection of the consumers in a great detail. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you liked my explanation, the method, how I have pointed out certain things, how I have included many pictures. If you like this video, just press that thumbs up button. If you have not subscribed my channel, share this video and put your comments in the section below. And I will see you in the third part of this chapter next time. Welcome students to With Answers Unacount Academy. That's better way to success for you. I am Vitan Vora and I teach accountancy, statistics and social science. You can contact me on my cell number 919426310184. Please give a sub to my channel and also check out my other video playlist which you can see on the screen. Thank you and I will see you in the next video.